Here is a 2024 Lexus RX 500 HF Sport in Cloudburst Gray, which is the sweet spot for performance and hybrid technology in the sense of getting decent MPGs and not going for the new variant of the RX 450H Plus, which will be about $5,000 to $10,000 more than this as an MSRP. What is the pros that you're getting? Some of the cons? I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides, and this particular model we have has pretty much every single feature, starting with the triple beam LED premium headlights and daytime runnings. The gloss black elements are going to highlight the whole exterior of the vehicle, but it's going to look a lot more dynamic with this premium paint with those little L shapes that's going underneath the L badging. It goes into the air curtain that gets more gloss black and a touch of it on the side. This will be the fastest variant for the RX at 5.9 seconds. You're getting the F Sport tuned suspension, 62 horsepower more than the new 450 Plus, in which you're still getting decent MPGs. And underneath the hood is going to house the 2.4 liter inline 4-cylinder with Lexus hybrid technology, producing 366 horsepower and 406 pound-feet of torque. That's a lot of motivation for a vehicle that's just a touch over 4,700 pounds. Compared to a 6-speed automatic transmission, achieving 27 MPGs for the city and 28 MPGs for the highway. Direct 4-wheel drive, 21-inch wheels, multi-spoke, matte black, 6-piston brakes are behind those black calipers. And when you're putting all of this performance, is it something that is needed for the RX? Not really. But I like that we're finally getting a performance variant. Gloss black elements are going to surround and highlight the whole side, starting with the side view mirror, the window trims, and taking it into the rear. And I like the design that they implement here because it keeps it a lot more athletic looking than a standard RX. And a top speed at 130 miles per hour. I understand the MDX Type S is going to have a third row, but most people don't even use the third row for that vehicle. They're getting it for performance, and this is going to beat it, and you're going to save anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000. And this is fully loaded, have you? LED tail lights, and the rear is going to have the trim pieces for where the exhaust should be. I'm not a huge fan of this. They do it in the Infiniti, in which I bought a QX60, and it's the same thing. We've been thinking about trying to do some kind of delete to it so it doesn't stand out as much. Just throw in a dual exhaust outlet. I mean, you have enough power underneath this, and it has enough performance in the 0 to 60 numbers to illustrate that the F Sport at least should have it. Power liftgate or kick to open, going into 29.6 cubic feet of storage. Move that privacy cover out of the way, and you have some bag holders here on both sides. With a 12-volt, there's the other bag holder, and a home plug. Underneath the floor is going to have a spare tire. Split fold the rear bench electronically at a 40-60 split, increasing cargo to 46.2 cubic feet. It will take a few seconds because it's electronic. It will fold completely flat. A wide opening, it does sit up. We need to go inside this bad boy, start it up so you can hear that exhaust note. Way power seat adjustment for the front occupants, memory for the driver, heated, ventilated F Sport badging, headroom and leg room. The RX has a wide footwell, a little bit more driver focused setup with the dashboard that has the soft materials, a 2-tier setup that goes into the large 14-inch touchscreen, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Sirius XM, AM, FM, streaming Bluetooth audio. Put it into reverse, we have a 360-degree reverse camera, full trajectory for the front and the rear. And when you click onto this view button right here, you get the bird's eye view. The only thing that I wish is that they utilize the whole screen for this infotainment instead of having it as a two-part, as you're noticing, because if you're going to do it like that, it would be better you take this chunk here and put it here, making it flush into the dashboard so you can see more of that design layout. Dual climate control settings, or you could use the physical knobs to turn it up and down, and the same thing to turn on and off the sound system and to turn up the sound. And for the driver mode select, you got normal, sport, which we're going to be driving in most of the time, eco, and you can do custom, which is a nice little twist because you can change everything to make it a little bit more sporty, even the air condition. I do like the two-tier air vent setup because it looks a little bit bigger than it actually is. USB ports, a storage tray, slide this open to a wireless charging pad, more USB, and another storage compartment, and the key fob for the RX. Keeping the same pattern that's going through. It's going to be soft to touch everywhere, but no pass through, which is going to lose some storage, but it kind of optimizes there. It's soft to touch here, and it opens as a two-part. It's deep, and it's one of the best in class because the passenger can open, and I like that it's not a two where it opens and opens that way, because usually when people open these, they want it to open fully. Leather wrap steering wheel, it's heated, multi-function with the touch sensitive buttons. It's perforated, you get the cross stitch, F Sport badging, and what I mean by these touch sensitive, on the heads up display, you can go through an array of information and change out the whole layout of the vehicle for both displays in the driver cluster or the actual heads up display itself. Lexus keeping the traditional look with the gloss black panel that goes with the gloss air vent on the side. The door is going to configure into the dash, and you get soft materials with the upgraded Mark Livingston. Push the button to get out. One touch up and down. Can't show you that because we just tinted the windows. Soft to touch where it needs to be, and pretty much everywhere. A long storage pocket with a beverage holder carved out, and a large panel moonroof that goes to the whole back of the vehicle with a digital rear view mirror or an auto dimming rear view mirror. For the back seats, headroom and leg room. We have every feature in this car. Storage behind both of the front seats, third climate control, heated, ventilated, USB, air vents in the center, cup holders here in the center with a storage pocket that opens up. And these seats also are electronic, so you can move it back more, or you can adjust it forward. The door does not get any sunshades, but you get the same materials that's found in the front, so soft to touch with about the same size storage pocket as the front. Sliding to the center, the floor is nearly flat. You can put your feet more in the center, or you can share some feet space. Butt and shoulder space will be shared just a bit, but it's still a wide vehicle. Headroom for the center, it's not too bad because the pano, but because of the way it kind of goes downwards, I'll have to sit like this or just recline the seat back if I'm over 6 foot tall. 366 horsepower and 406 pound-feet of torque. I don't think people are quite grasping what that entails. And what I mean by that is you have more torque in this than the new X5 BMW. You have more horsepower and torque in this than a Mercedes GLE 450. The reason why I'm saying those vehicles is because their MSRP is either right around the price this is fully loaded, or maybe a few grand less, in which this is fully loaded. Now, if you go into Acura, it outperforms the Type S MDX. The interior, it's going to be a lot more plush. It's going to be a little bit more firm and sporty for the seats because these are sport-derived seats, hence F Sport. But you're getting a lot of dynamics, not just 6 pistons in the front. The whole suspension's changed out, adaptive variable suspension, and rear axle steering, which makes it near a 50-50 weight distribution. Now, I'm not a huge fan of the rear axle steering because I feel it's cheating a little bit to get better weight distribution, but it does help on longer vehicles. On vehicles this size, it's still going to help with some performance. I mean, you're at under 6 seconds, which is crazy for an RX. But I'm not even doing anything too crazy here, and I'm already feeling a lot of body roll, and that's because it also weighs over 4,700 pounds. It's not the heaviest variant, but this performance that you're getting is better than the new 450 Plus, which is their new trim. It's plug-in hybrid, but that you're looking to obviously get a little bit more MPGs. Now it's time for the performance test. The exhaust filter's in, it feels fast. Dynamically speaking, not good, which is a big con in my perspective because I'm getting pretty quick 0 to 60s. Now, even family members of mine, because I review vehicles, one of the main things that they usually ask me is, what's your favorite vehicle? And I get this asked quite a bit. The first thing I say is, are you looking for performance, luxury, or a mixture? This is going to be luxury with performance, but you're not really getting a mixture in the sense of you're able to take corners in it. You're gonna slide off the road. At least we got 6 pistons in the front though, so that does help, but it's not something that's really needed because this doesn't weigh over 5,000 pounds and you're not getting over 400 horsepower. Yes, you got over 400 pound-feet of torque, so it's gonna throw you back. However, some of it is just a little bit of an overkill to oversell the vehicle because of the package that you're getting. I understand and I appreciate getting it, but I would like it to be a little bit less pricey whenever I'm going for service. Now we're going to see it on a straight line. It almost has like a V6/V8 sound that's pumping out of the hood, which you're not expecting that out of an RX. That's why this is that sweet spot vehicle. It's gonna take me to some pros and cons. Starting with the pros is you're getting so much value here. You can just option it fully loaded. You're gonna be happy. It's gonna put a smile on your face. And then you still have a butter smooth suspension and it's quiet when it needs to be. Other pros is they optimize storage space even though you don't have a full pass-through. Everything is deep in the center. The back seats recline electronically and that exhaust pumps in, which I know some buyers for Lexus will probably be like, well, I don't really care for all that. Then don't buy the 500. Now, taking it to some cons. After I do this, listen to this exhaust. It sounds like a little sports car. Taking it back to the cons, you don't get a lot of power seat adjustments. If you are comparing it to BMW and Mercedes, they're going to have the most power seat adjustments, and then adding massage seats. You get ventilated and heated front seats. You have to add packages in order to get the heated and ventilated rear seats. And this is all packaged up. You will have more speakers in this, and the sound is phenomenal. Mark Levingston does a good job with bass and treble, not trying to oversell it, but you also get a digital rear view mirror, which BMW doesn't even offer that. Now you can get these things in Infinity, and you get the Bose sound system, which Bose sounds awesome. It's one of my favorite variants for vehicles. Harman Kardon would probably be about 3rd to 4th. Mark Levingston would be near the 2nd to 3rd. The pano is large, but the con to it is it really is like right here because I'm tall. The windscreen is sleek, giving that sporty proportion. Not a huge fan of the way the hood integrates into the dash. It kind of gives a pointy nose like a boat structure. I do like the grille setup with the L's and all the gloss black elements. Excellent job overall. The best part is you're doing all this and you're still getting great MPGs. It's not going to be to the level of what it's stated, but you're still going to be getting over 20 MPGs flooring it or giving it some performance, and you're going to enjoy the throttle response to it as well. And whenever you're looking to go from Toyota to Lexus, a huge difference you'll notice is the craftsmanship in the interior, and we don't have to worry about a CVT here. Turn radius is about 2 lanes. I'm not gonna give it too much. I'm gonna just drive it normal. Now on the downside, click it into normal. You're not going to hear the exhaust hardly at all. Click it into eco. That's where you're gonna get the best MPGs, but it's not gonna be as pleasurable. And then it's taking me to the big problem that I have with the RX. is everything is more or less through the touchscreen or these touch sensitive buttons in order to configure the screens or to put it into driving modes. I would like to have seen physical buttons, or like I was saying on the interior, make this screen smaller, because really you're only utilizing about 12.3 inches, give or take, because the bottom portion is for the climate control. So it's kind of an overkill. I understand you want to make it look more performance oriented, and it has that driver focused cockpit setup so you feel like you're in a little race car lifted up with good clearance. But in the same perspective, you're not utilizing the whole screen. If it's me, I probably would drive this in sport mode for a good portion of the beginning of ownership, because when I bought my first Maserati, that was what we did. We just drove it for like 10-15,000 miles, almost 100% on sport, because you want to hear the exhaust. And I feel like when you're getting the 500HF Sport, you want that performance. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Check out the next video, merchandise, website, and Instagram. Leave a comment and a like. And I'd like to thank Lexus Wesley Chapel for giving us this 2024 Lexus RX 500HF Sport for our car review.